it shows that the critical minerals that came out of our property and our ability to process them has processed them up to not only battery grade, but battery grade that works in a battery. So the full end-to-end cycle of what we've always wanted to do, which was from pit to battery cell, is complete. It's complete in a small miniature format, but it's commercial. It's commercial ready. It just needs to be scaled up.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is John Passalacqua. He is the CEO of First Phosphate Corp. And John, always great to see you. How are you?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Steve.
Good to have you along. Really exciting news out from the company today, talking about the results of what really was a milestone event for the company, John, and the production of this LFP battery. So let's remind everyone a little bit about that milestone.
Yeah, so we came out about a month ago where we created the first LFP batteries from North American Critical Minerals that had been created in perhaps 20, 25 years. And what we've done now is we've had those batteries tested, and lo and behold, those batteries are performing at commercial rates. So it goes to show that all the critical minerals that went into creating that battery, two of them being the phosphate, the purified phosphoric acid from Bégin-Lamarche, and the iron powder also from Bégin-Lamarche, are of perfect LFP battery component, as well as our processing. So it really validates these materials in our processing of them to be able to work in LFP battery components.
John, I want to ask you about a couple of the numbers that came out of it because they're really interesting. But first, just to remind people that it's such a process to get to that particular point where the battery's completed. But that's really the part of the supply chain that you've talked about for so long.
Yeah, I think you'll probably show this graphic as well on screen, but step one is taking the igneous anorthosite rock, the rare earth phosphate, igneous phosphate from Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean. Step two is converting that into phosphate concentrate, some of the purest phosphate concentrate in the world. And then because of that purity, making purified phosphoric acid. With that purified phosphoric acid and iron powder that also comes from the properties of secondary recovery, making iron phosphate precursor. From there, mixing that with lithium, making lithium iron phosphate cathode active material, then taking anode material, which is basically graphite, which we use from Nouveau Monde graphite in Montreal, and making an LFP battery cell. That worked. That worked at commercial rates.
Yeah, at least 80% capacity retention up to 2,000 discharge cycles that you mentioned in the news release. And it says in the news release, that's a really significant number to be hitting.
Yeah, so basically when they test these battery cells, what they do is they charge them, they discharge them, they charge them, they discharge them, and they do it as many times as possible to see if there's degradation in the battery. And there's certain tests and certain acceptable standards. So we met all of those.
Yeah, and lastly, obviously these are numbers that you send out to the world. So what will you do with this type of testing? Who are the type of people that you would talk to and show these type of numbers to?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's for all of us. It's for investors. It's for partners as well. It shows
Yeah.
that the critical minerals that came out of our property and our ability to process them has processed them up to not only battery grade, but battery grade that works in a battery. So the full end-to-end cycle of what we've always wanted to do, which was from pit to battery cell, is complete. It's complete in a small miniature format, but it's commercial. It's commercial ready. It just needs to be scaled up. So it's a really big accomplishment.
Yeah, congratulations on that. A significant moment in the company's history. And John, thanks for sharing it with us today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
All right, there's John Passalacqua, the CEO of First Phosphate Corp.